Hello, dear students, one more time. Today we will discuss with you the social issues, again, the continuation of the social issues, human rights. Besides this topic, we have left four more classes, and then we will finish the course integrated skill. So today's topic is very, very interesting. If you see in the Moodle platform, you may see the two types of presentation, and also you may ask for some true-false questions that is based on the video. Okay, so human rights, how it's effective or how it's a broad topic for countries. We will see further these issues. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, what is human rights? So first, I'm gonna give you short definition or short prescription of the human rights. Human rights refers to the concept of human beings as having universal natural rights or status, regardless of legal jurisdiction or other localizing such as ethnicity, nationality, and sex. Human rights are, this is two equal issues about your rights. For example, in one side the country and the next side your rights. In each country has already established it in their countries that, as a declaration form of human rights. Set of standards that guarantee a life befitting a rational human being. And also they are basic and minimum standards without which people can't live in dignity. Human rights guarantees the development and wholeness of our beings. Human rights are the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Okay, here you may see the points of the human rights. Denial of human rights is not only an individual personal tragedy, it also creates conditions of social and political unrest, violence, and conflict within the between society and nation. Human rights must be appropriate and adequate to the basic needs of the people. Of course, the demand of the people in the particular country shows the human rights. I mean, how their benefits, how their need of the people in a particular country. For sure, they must be in an appropriate way and adequate one. Being aware of our human rights come to the responsibility in developing and protecting our dignity and that of others. Okay, if the people know their rights quite well, and then they can also protect themselves in a particular situation because they know their responsibility and they know their rights, and for coming out of this rights they can protect themselves easily, and they may know about what they can do or what they can't, or what is allowed to do or not allowed to do. These kind of issues also somehow falls the rate of crime. Human rights provide a framework for action where people are empowered to change their lives and the society. Human rights can be classified as the first one, civil rights, and the next one, political rights. So let's look through what is the civil rights. It pertains to rights belonging to a person by a reason of citizenship, right to a name, right to freedom from discrimination, right to equality before the law, right to public trial, right to marry, right to leave or right to leave or to change their life another place. This is the civil rights. We may say that giving names first. Each person, when they are born, this is the first human right is taking a name or to have a name. Political rights enables the people to participate in running or influencing the administration of the government, or right to vote, right to freedom of the expression, right to free and periodic elections. So each time when the time comes to elect it can be presidential election or it can be parliamentary election. So in the ads, an advertisement you may see, so each people has the right to vote. So this is goes to the political rights. Economic rights pertains to access the resources such as land, labor, physical, and financial capital that are essential for the creation, legal appropriation, and market exchange of goods and service. For example, it can be right to work, right to own property, right to adequate standard of living. Social rights relates to living together or enjoying life in communities or organized groups. Right to social security, right to social welfare. Cultural rights. It ensures the well-being of the individual and fosters the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of arts, manners, and a way of living of group with the principles of unity in diversity of expression. So, as a conclusion, it's shortly given in the bracket that right to take part in cultural right to enjoy benefits of scientific progress and its application. Okay, more on about the human rights, you may say about the declarations when it's first right to education, and also each people or each person has the right of education. So they may choose. The education is free, and each people can choose their correct way of living by choosing the educational type. What is the human rights education? Human rights education entitles every woman, man, youth, and child to the human right to free and compulsory elementary education and to readily available forms of secondary and higher education. If we speak about the education system, again, here in Uzbekistan, we have the schools, elementary school and middle school, and now also higher school are compulsory. The college system, it's also compulsory. So each adult should have at least higher education. I mean, primary education as an elementary one, and the next one is the college system or license. If we say about the higher education, it includes in university, and adults have again right to apply for the higher education if they wish. The human right to freedom from discrimination in all areas and levels of education, and to equal access to continuing education and vocational training, and the human right to inform about health, nutrition, reproduction, and family planning. Okay, here you may also see about the human right to education. So what kind of rights they have? Okay, the human rights to education is inextricable link to the other fundamental human rights, right? That are universal, indivisible, interconnected, and interdependent, including these issues. Human right to equality between man and woman and to equal partnership in the family and society. The human right to work and receive wages that contributed to an adequate standard of living. The human right to freedom of thought, conscience, religion, and belief, human right to an adequate standard of living, and the human right to participate in shaping decisions and policies affecting one's community at the local, national, and international levels. Environmental and human rights. Okay, all people should have the right to generally satisfactorily environmental favorable their development. And also here you may see the people should have all the right to general environment. Okay, so they're beyond about the environmental issues, how they consider they have the equal rights to have in people's rights. To state shall protect and advance the right of the people to balance and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. Peace and conflict transformation. Okay, you may here see narrow definition of peace and broader definition of peace. Here given a more defined one, narrow definition of peace. I mean absence of war, absence of terrorism, or absence of dialogue. Broader definition of peace seen as the state and process of well-being and security. And also define it holistically. This is the points of the border, the points of narrow definition of peace. Peace, what is the peace? It's more than just the absence of war, the realization of justice, not just the absence of conflict, creatively dealing with conflict, promoting well-being in human needs. What is conflict? Okay, conflict, it's product of our inherent difference and diversity, such as it is natural. Conflict is neither positive nor negative. It depends on how we approach it. Conflict, it's kind of not coming to one conclusion and one point of something. Okay, here what is the conflict transformation? Here's three parts of the conflict are given. Conflict transformation describes prescribes the needs for us to be aware of our conception of conflict transform relationships in the focus of conflict. And one more thing which I wanted to say about the conflict. For example, here you may see relationship is the focus of conflict transformation, changing it from one of competition to one of other cooperation. So when the conflict comes about the feeling or about the showing human rights, and then in your inner side you will see about what is not good for you, what is not appropriate for you according to the basic things which is happening around. Okay, now dear students, this is the all which I wanted to share with you about the human rights. As I can say that, or as I emphasize, this is the moral one, and emphasizing one, you may find extra information about internet. The internet is really rich in this topic about the human rights. So, but when you try to download it, you may say it's social issues and human rights. Okay, in this case, see you in my next class. Lesson is over. Goodbye.